Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. LeBron fans say that the Pistons and the Lakers were old when Michael Jordan beat them. Wow. Wow. If that's the case, how old were the Spurs? How old were the Celtics? And how old was Detroit when LeBron beat them? We're going to look at this real quick. And I think sometimes what the media does, they like to tell the story in reverse to see how dumb LeBron fans really are. Because when we hear LeBron, try to equate himself, try to talk, try to explain himself, and this guy tries to sound so brilliant, but he can't even get the words out of his mouth. Like, bro, you're on a podcast and you can't even get the script right. You need to get a teleprompter or something so you can read off of, because him and JJ Redick, these guys are supposed to be, especially JJ Redick, right? This guy's on TV. Ain't this guy like on what's it called? He calls games or whatever like that. This guy's supposed to be one of the best, right? He's on TV. LeBron probably got him on TV. He's on First Take. He's on ESPN. And these guys do this podcast and they're just like fumbling and bumbling over their own words. Because it's lies in the first place. So, that ought to tell you right then and there every time they try to tell a lie, which they call truth. They can't even do it right. So let's go ahead and get into this. 2011, when LeBron finally beat the Big Three. Paul Pierce was 34. Kevin Garnett was 35. And Ray Allen was 36. In 91, when Jordan played the Big Three Celtics, Mikel was 34, Bird was 35, and Parrish, he was 38. Goodness gracious. Is this right? Was Parrish really 38? Holy moly. We might want to go back and check that. Wow. 2007, when LeBron beat the Little Three Pistons. When he beat them to go to the finals. Chauncey Billups was 31. Lindsey Hunter was 37. And who is this? Rasheed Wallace was 33. Right? In comparison to when Jordan beat the Big Three Pistons in 91. Isaiah Thomas was 29. Rodman was 29. And Bill Laimbeer was 34. Wow. I didn't know Lindsey Hunter was that old. Wow, he had been in the league that long? That's crazy. 2013, when LeBron finally beat the Spurs. Well, he got mollywopped the next year. You got Tim Duncan, he was 37. Ginobili, 36. Parker, he was 31. And then you got 1991 finals when Jordan beat the Lakers. You have Worthy, he was 30 years old. And I don't think this is right. Was Magic Johnson 30? This might be wrong. It's saying he was 32. I think he was younger than that. Let's see. Worthy came into the league. I don't know. He might have been 31. But we're just showing you right here, there's really no age difference. When Jordan was beating up on, finally won against these teams. And when LeBron won against these teams. Now, I don't think Jordan played Boston in the 91 playoffs. No, it doesn't say this. But I guess it's just an example of how old they was in 1991. Um, how old Boston was. It doesn't say that the Bulls beat Boston or nothing like that. I guess it's just an age comparison. This big three to this big three, how old they were. Yeah, it just goes to show you that these narratives are just like, Nick Wright comes out with this, Shannon Sharp comes out with this, and like I try to tell you, if you think these are debate groups on ESPN and Fox Sports to where they're like going against each other, you got the Nick Wrights and I think Chris Carter was originally on there. I don't think they liked him, so they came up with like some little fake story, whatever like that, to get him off because I think he was really smashing on Nick Wright. The pushback was more furious against Nick Wright with Chris Carter than it is with Chris Broussard. Chris Broussard, he always trying to finesse everything. I don't think Chris Carter was a big fan of LeBron James, right? He wasn't putting his lips on LeBron's booty hole, kissing up to him and stuff like that. And I think that's what they didn't like about Chris Carter. Yes, Chris Broussard, he'll go ahead and he'll put Jordan first, but he'll put LeBron second, right? He'll apologize, he's a good father. He's a good businessman. He's a good, and that's Stephen A. Smith's words too, right? He's a good businessman. He's never committed a crime. He's a good family man. Like, what is these guys talking about? Are we talking about basketball? How come, how come they don't say that about Jordan? How come they don't say Jordan's a good family man? Jordan never committed a crime. Jordan this, Jordan that. They always got to apologize before they go in on LeBron James, and they really don't. They really hype this guy up, even though you're not number one. We got to talk about your personal life. Oh, you've been to the finals 8 straight times, but you don't talk about him team hopping. You don't talk about him throwing his teammates under the bus. Where's that? You don't talk about him melting down. You don't talk about him choking. The guy literally choked and melt down from when he entered the NBA, a minus 144 for the season, shot 41% from the field, didn't make the playoffs, didn't make the All-Star, second season, didn't make the playoffs with an All-Star teammate. Nobody talks about that. Couldn't even get into the Olympics, even though Michael Jordan was going across seas as amateurs, playing grown men. Oh, they was plumbers back then. The world hadn't caught up to us. Well, how come Carmelo Anthony and Wade and all them was getting in the game? Second season or third season, finally gets into the playoffs because they changed the defensive rules because they saw, oh, these guys suck. If we keep defense in the game, this crop of guys suck because they can't shoot. They don't have no fundamentals. So we definitely got to take defense out to make these guys look better. Kobe was a great player before that, but still, you saw these games, scoring 37 and 35 points per game in a season, just going the hell off, right? It was too easy for Kobe. LeBron makes it to the playoffs, melts down, takes a 3-2 lead, going back home on these mighty Pistons. It melts down in games 5 and 6. Go look at those games. No, he didn't choke. He wasn't expected to win. But he melted down. Go look at his averages. Go look at his percentages. 2007, he beats these same Pistons without Ben Wallace, and he beats nobody on the way there. 2 500 win teams. And I think these 07 Pistons, they won like 3 more games than LeBron. Now he's in the finals? Again, what kind of league is this? In the 80s and 90s, you basically had 3 to 5 Hall of Famers on your team just to make it to the finals. What kind of weak league is this? And now they're gonna say, "Oh, he beat Chauncey Billups. He's a Hall of Famer now." Look, if they don't let Shawn Kemp into the Hall of Fame, this is a crime. I don't have nothing against Chauncey Billups going to the Hall of Fame, but what they're doing is a crime. And now I'm gonna make a video on this later. This MVP thing is really bugging on me. It's really bugging on me because now Michael Cooper done hit the Hall of Fame too for the 2024, and that don't bother me at all. But when these guys are having 3 to 5 Hall of Famers on one team and winning the MVP, how does this make any sense? If you're playing on the I'm gonna just wait until later for that. But yeah, the next season, 08, plays this Boston team. LeBron melts down again in the playoffs. Nothing is said about that. Go look at it. Guys shot like 35% from the field, 20% from three, 5 turnovers a game. And still took these guys to Game 7. What? Shot like 63% from the line? And took, how weak is this era really? What a disgrace. You could take a team like this at 7 games doing that? And this guy said he was playing with a bunch of nobodies? And I did a video on that. LeBron James wasn't he wasn't even the highest paid player on his team until 2013. I'm not playing. Shaq was making more money than him. Ben Wallace was making more money than him. El Gaskins was making more money than him. Antoine Jameson was making more money than him. What's this guy's name? Oh my goodness. The guy that came over and they finally made the playoffs in 2006. He came from Washington. Oh, I forget this guy's name. He was making more money than him. I guess he was more like a defensive guy. Everybody was making more money than him. Everybody, even when he went to the Miami Heat, everybody was making more money than him until 2013. And you're trying to tell me this guy was the leader of the team? This guy was the best player in the league, and you got all these guys making more money than you? Man, get out of here. So you guys tell me what you think, man.